Alright then, it's time for another Shen game. And to be honest, he's one of my, I enjoy playing a lot, pushing on Shen. So it was kind of unnerving to hear some people say some really dumb things. When I played the last Shen, they were like, oh my god, Shen is useless. Oh my god, Jungle Shen is stupid. Well, Shen in general is a bad champion. It's like, I don't know if these people ever played the past seasons or realized that Shen, up until this season, was kind of the most used champion ever. Like, at least in tournament wise, he was like broken as shit and kind of used in every single game. That said, he did get nerfed, and his relevancy in the jungle hasn't been there since it's just season 2. So meh. The point of the matter is, Jungle Shen still has some of his great traits, one being his hyper sustain. His Q is really damn strong with sustain, especially when you finally get his W at like rank 3, at level 3. Because you usually want to get your dash second. Nonetheless, gank happens top. I'll go over more Shen stuff right now after this. Gank happens top. I go right after Ryze because I feel he's the most threatening aside from Pantheon, and better yet, the easiest one we can kill. Then we turn on Pantheon. We give the chase. He already burned his flash, so he's a goner here. Boom! Ignite kills him. Double buff to my Yasuo. Unfortunately, first blood was already given by the Morgana. Anyways, runes and masteries. I believe it is attack speed red, armor yellow, magic resistance blue, scaling, and attack damage red. And the masteries are 9, 21, 0. And here Yasuo dies, thus giving back double buff to the enemy team. And I can't do anything to get it back, so I just kind of stay here and farm. Anyways, Shen still has his really strong sustain. It is remarkable for a character like him. And I know he is a very slow clearing jungler. He doesn't compare to even the average clearing speed junglers like Malphite, but given Madrid's Razor's buff, his speed definitely got better. He's one of the champions who improved the most with the addition to Feral Flare. And while some people will go, if you're gonna go tank or if you're gonna farm Feral Flare so slow, why not just go Spirit of the Ancient Golem? It's because Feral Flare really works out with how you already built Shen. Shen relies on a lot of attack speed and his passive in order to actually clear properly. So Madrid's Razor and Feral Flare is just a natural progression for him. It just makes he's purely single target, and a champion relying purely on auto attacks really does need that boost to those auto attacks in order to keep clearing. Anyways, I've obtained my ultimate, which has unlocked one of Shen's greatest things. It's got the infinite jungle. I can, as long as I have my ultimate, jungle forever. Just keep farming and only join the fights when my teammate looks like he'll need it. Like in this case, Yasuo is going to be stuck between Ryze and the enemy Ziggs. I teleported in to stop the damage from Ryze pouring in and to save Yasuo from dying against Ziggs right after. So, yeah, that's kind of the infinite jungle. However, now that my ultimate is down, I really can't help him. Him or anybody else. So I just kind of have to wait until my ultimate comes back up or find ganks of my own. It's kind of, that's one of his bigger weaknesses, but one of his better strengths. He's very reliant on his long-ass cooldown of his ultimate, which has been steadily nerfed across the seasons. It used to be a lot stronger in Season 1 when it had a lesser cooldown and it also gave both of you a shield. But now, it's definitely a lot weaker, but it still gives you the same power. Like here, though, this is a bad idea. Me and Morgana go in on 2 of them. Morgana initiated on them, and she really, really went aggro on them. I thought, oh, she's just gonna die by herself. So I teleported in, we got the Pantheon killed, and then we kind of died. Also Oriana, because she came and helped us. That was a really, really bad decision. Anyways, Shen, I see him more as a bruiser nowadays than I do as a tank. He's got some tank qualities, but he has more fighter or bruiser kind of things. Nonetheless, I'm building Sunfire Cape, which will help with clearing speed and pushing and split pushing a bit more. And I know normally I'd say things like, "Oh, the jungle phase is ended already," but as I already said, with Shen's perma ultimate. Well, not perma ultimate, it is ultimate. I can permanently put some aggro on the field without actually being there. So his jungle phase never truly ends, and the split pushing phase never truly ends either. So I could split push and help, I could jungle and help, and eventually catch up to my opponents. I actually dubbed this, and other people have as well, as artificial speed. Yeah, let's just say, I don't know, a ganking jungler like Evelyn, she technically is faster than Shen, like just straight out faster at clearing and going between camp and camp. But jungle Shen doesn't have to go anywhere to gank if he has his ultimate. Evelyn still has to roam the map, still has to get in position, and still has to wait for her cooldown. So, well, it doesn't count because Shen also has to. She has to walk around and do things and wait for the opportunity to arise. Well, Shen just has to wait around until something happens until he's actually needed, and then just go in. I didn't have to leave my farming, so, you know, I would eventually catch up to the Evelyn. The artificial speed boost is what gives him better mid-game or like late mid-game strength than a lot of other junglers. So that's kind of the trade-off here. Plus, I didn't pick into the Pantheon. The Pantheon picked into me, and I was just thinking, you know what? Jungle Pantheon's already slow as shit, so he's not gonna be able to take advantage of my slow speed. Plus, he has a semi-global ultimate. With my ultimate, I'll be able to counter his ganks if it looks like we'd be able to survive and kill them in return. And you know what? The Pantheon really didn't get to do much, at least until later into the game. Well, early on he got kills, and then later on he didn't do much. His ultimate was never really put to great use, and now he's kind of being, just diced and whatever. He probably should have given kills to his teammates. Yeah, as you can see, the Pharaoh Flare is still not complete. It's almost complete, but it takes a while. It's like twice as long as it would normally take you to complete it on a lot of fast junglers. But even so, it's ultimately worth it because Magic's Razor is strong on Shen. Wriggles is strong on Shen, plus the ward helps. And, it's just a matter of time you'll get Pharaoh Flare and give yourself a small power spike. You're not really taking it for the damage, if not, just to help you actually farm the jungle. And also, I'm pretty sure there's something a few of you are wondering. Stonewall, why did you take your teammate's blues several times? I actually didn't want to. I typed out, yo, Orianna, and she didn't come at all. Like, if you watch the stream, Orianna wasn't making any strides to actually pick up the damn thing, so I said, fuck it. I have like a 5-10 second rule. If I'm forced to tank this stupid thing for longer than I need to, I will take it myself. Though having blue and then using your ultimate lowers its cooldown, so it's not that bad on Shen to just snag the blue if you're going to rely on your ultimate a lot. Either way, I saved the Orianna in one instance, and I'm going to save her again here before Lucian murders her. Though, of course, he probably would have died to my other teammates right after, so, I just ended up using my ghost just to make sure she didn't die. Nonetheless, one of the worst things about Shen, though, is I can't initiate any fights. Yeah, you could use Ghost and Flash to do so, but it's still pretty shitty compared to a lot of other tanks. Which is kind of why I don't consider him a tank, per se. I consider him more as a bruiser. Because you only really follow up on your teammates. Right now you can see my teammate is pinging, back away, back away, back away. You know what? We got the advantage here. We caught Gragas and they kind of split. So we got 2 free kills for nothing. Oh, Jungle Shen. People call him useless, but, there's a time and place for everything. And if the enemy team didn't properly counter him or bother to do anything, then one makes them a bad pick. I'm like, they didn't pick a fast jungler, so they're not going to just crush me in my jungle. They did pick a jungle that was going to, gank really early, really brutally. But you know what? As much as people may not believe it, Shen is actually pretty strong early game, especially at ganking. His dash combines both the CC and a gap closer, plus it does a bit of damage, and he has got a lot of burst for the low levels thanks to his passive. It's like dash in, nuke somebody, and maybe kill them during that time phase. Of course, he'll need somebody else's help to kill them, but that goes a lot for a lot of junglers too. And he's also tanky enough to survive being butt blasted afterwards, and he's sustained enough to have a lot of health coming out of the jungle. Though here, this whole instance here is just me being stupid and greedy to try to steal the red, so I'm gonna die here, and it's kind of my own fault, so I deserve that death. Nonetheless, you get a leash as Shen, a good leash, or even a basic leash, and you clear in approximately the same time as a lot of other junglers, even a lot of the fast ones. It's kind of a myth when people say, oh, he's just the slowest jungler. Yeah, he definitely is the slowest jungler, but it tends to not apply to the first clear for a lot of junglers because they get a good leash. If they were stuck without leashes, then of course he'd be slow as balls. after his second clear, or the clears where the leash is no longer important, yeah, that's definitely slow. That definitely affects him. But early on, I'll be able to catch, someone like a Malphite or a Pantheon or something. Maybe not a Nudi or Shyvana, but I will be able to catch up to them and stop their counter gank. Like you saw, I caught the Pantheon in his counter gank, and it went in our favor. He's still slower than everybody else, but the leash makes him not as crippling slow as he normally would have been. Nonetheless, I know I'm defending Shen a lot and everything, but I'm not saying he doesn't have any weakness. It's just a lot of people tend to exaggerate his weaknesses or not really understand what the hell they're talking about. It's sort of like this. The other day when I uploaded the tier list, somebody got very mad that I said, you know what, Pantheon is a slow clearing jungler. And then they're like, oh, he's super fast. Why'd you give him a D+? Motherfucker, when he only gets fast when he gets a spirit item. Prior to that, he's one of the slowest junglers in the game. What do you think keeps him down? You don't farm with him, you gank. Nonetheless, you can see I would actually attribute some of the wonderful plays on the Shen. Though honestly, I do think if I picked somebody else, it would have gone the same way anyways, because I didn't get to take full advantage of the infinite jungler split push, but it still didn't really harm us. It was a good game for both sides and for the Shen, so hooray for Shen and team.